Peppers need heat to grow, and those who crave them love the spice of life they add to their meals. Michael Schlesinger introduces a military veteran growing nearly 24 varieties, a small business that began on his doorstep.
We started mixing the different peppers together, and I'd take them to work and have my coworkers try them, and they're like, well, can you make it hotter, or could you do this or that? Before long, I had probably 4 or 5 different blends, and about that time, they're like, you should sell it.
This is exactly what retired military vet Dennis Prushka did. His vision of a startup became a reality called Doorstep Peppers.
They're literally grown right outside our doorstep. Great name, and it's a good conversation piece.
Prushka has been in business for about 5 years now. He grows at least a dozen varieties of hot or super hot peppers at his home on Milwaukee's south side.
Growing and the nurturing, and I mean, they're really cool. I mean, you can see some of the peppers on the plants, you know, the different colors, and once they start turning colors, then that kind of sets in my head that it's going to be time to pick soon. And when it's time to pick, I start going to market with all the different peppers. And
listening to the nutritional value of what he produces, it might be more than just an apple a day to keep the doctor away.
It's so good for your circulation, and it's good for arthritis, digestion. Where you have your chili peppers, you have to have a tomato plant growing, so when you go for your salsa, it's all, you know, just right there to pick.
Asking this entrepreneur his favorite pepper can be tough, but he has an answer: the yellow fatale pepper.
It's hot as a habanero, but it's got a little more of a citrusy flavor, and if you ever try it in a salsa, you'll use it all the time.
He tells me he also loves his Carolina Reapers. These are hotter than a jalapeno, 30 times more so on the Scoville taste scale, but some have even more of a kick.
It was like a train hit me in the face. It was hot. It was brutally hot. Pepper here called Purple Pain. I've never grown it before, but I'm kind of afraid to even try that one just by the name.
This pepper professional also offers expert advice for those who never take part in an eating contest. He says it's not really the seeds contributing to the heat. It's the membrane causing all the issues. So then,
always take the first bite farthest away from the stem, because that's where there's the least membrane.
Curly is when this grower tends to be the busiest with all the heat and humidity.
It'll let nature do its thing, and once they start coming in, though, it's a lot of work, because you're picking every day, sometimes, you know, 5-6 days a week.
The big sellers are the dry chili pepper-based seasonings. He makes a total of 15 of them, with 11 being salt-free.
You can always add salt, but I mean, it's the flavor that sells the product.
Beside an online business, he relies on butcher shops, delis, and restaurants to showcase his inventory. But at the top of this list, you'll find area farmers markets, even off-season ones.
You can get so much great stuff at these markets, and if more people would come out, they'd really see what they're missing. I have one that's just about ready to pick. And once they start coming in, they come in like crazy, too.
I asked him about opening a brick-and-mortar store. He says it isn't a priority right now.
I hate to say never to anything, but right now, I'm not really thinking about a brick-and-mortar, but I'd like to get into more restaurants to have chefs use my seasonings.
But wherever he and his products end up, he knows he's the one who made it happen. A success story enough to bring a tear to your eyes, no matter how strong the pepper really is.
The reward of being successful and knowing I did it myself.